Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Weight Loss Made Easy Solution. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Today is Friday. I don't know what 45 days into this quarantine that we're involved in. Things are getting a little fired up out there. People are getting a little tired on being told that they have to stay home now, and um, I guess the beaches, most of the beaches are open except for a couple down in Orange County, and there's some issues going on there. But we got to deal with what we got to deal with, so we just got to make the best of it. But anyway, today, guys, I've been a while since I've been on live Facebook. I tried to do a live Facebook. Was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? And for some reason, my phone just was not rotating right, and I couldn't figure it out. So of course, the light goes off in my brain, and I'm thinking, well, how am I going to figure my phone out? Do I have to go all the way down to Sprint and have them show me? And I thought, no, I'll just go on YouTube. And the very first video showed me what I need to do to fix the issue. So obviously, my issue of my rotating phone is working fine now. But today, guys, I wanted to get on because I've been talking the last few times about skeptical doctors and health professionals when it comes to what Emily and I are teaching people about primal eating, or what you guys know about is a ketogenic diet and intermittent and prolonged fasting for overall health and to help boost the immune system and to help balance your hormones. That's what Emily and I are specializing in. And I've been I've been talking about these doctors that have been debunking it now for a while, but things are changing. It seems that there are more and more doctors out there that are actually looking into or reading the scientific case studies on the truth behind primal eating as far as reversing many diseases and also balancing hormones, and intermittent fasting, which is, to me, is a must to produce new muscle stem cells or stem cells, anti-aging, improving energy. I mean, there's just tons of different health benefits to it. And we've been doing this a while. Well, you've got these health professionals and doctors who have been debunking it now for a while, and have now seen that there's just been way too much new scientific research. Even there's been old scientific research on it, but for some reason, doctors just don't have time, I guess, or they just don't want to know about it because it might just affect their wallets. Because actually, you don't need medication when you're doing this type of lifestyle to reverse diseases, lose body fat, reverse obesity, or type 2 diabetes. Now you've got some of these, you have some of the top doctors in the world now that are really aggressively promoting primal eating or ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. You also have some of the top health professionals, even for the celebrities, that are really pushing it. Now for us, Emily and I, those of you that follow me know that we do both. I think by doing both the primal eating, which is a low carb diet, and what I'm talking about is your first 6 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks, you're going to be doing around 20 grams of carbs or less to acclimate your body to get off of that, burning that carbohydrates you've been burning for all these years to burning your own fat. That makes sense. If you're trying to lose weight, it doesn't make sense that maybe you should go after your own body fat that's stored up to burn if you want to lose the weight. Well, if you're eating a high carb diet or even a medium carb diet, or if you're eating carbs above 50 grams a day, then you're not going to burn your own body fat. It's just not going to happen. And it's because of what they call insulin resistance. So that's basically where you're at. I'm actually, if you guys see, I'm drinking some coffee. This is not regular coffee. I've got a 4-hour window here where I'm eating. Emily and I are doing a protocol that we really like. We're doing this whole week. We did 20-hour intermittent fastings. I've got a 4-hour window of eating till 6 tonight that I can eat whatever I basically want. It's all fat food, all good high-fat foods. protein, because we exercise, 5 to 6 days a week, and then after 6 o'clock tonight, we don't eat anymore. So I'm having my, which we both really enjoy. We're having my fat coffee. So we really enjoy it. So anyway, getting back to these doctors. So you got these doctors, and I'm just going to name a couple of them. Probably these ones I'm going to name are probably the most aggressive out there that are actually teaching other doctors about this lifestyle, and are actually teaching they have completely changed their health platform, and completely are getting people off medication, especially those who are type 2 diabetic and that are on insulin and metformin or whatever type of diabetic medication that they're on. Probably one of the top ones I follow a lot, and I've learned a lot from, is Dr. Jason Fung. He's been doing this for decades. He realized that he was not helping his patients at all, that he was not reversing type 2 diabetes or obesity with the medication. The medication has never worked. It never will work. And then he decided to try this thing he learned about, which is intermittent fasting, and then combining it with a ketogenic diet, and the results for him completely changed his platform. Now, he's one of the top kidney specialists probably in the world, who's now been doing this for decades. So don't you think that he's got some credibility out there, that maybe there is something to this, and the health professionals and the doctors may want to research this themselves? Got another doctor out there that's very aggressive and has been doing this, I think, for 3 years, is Dr. Boz. She actually wrote a book how she actually saved her mother's life by doing the prolonged fasting and the ketogenic diet. And she wrote a book about it, and now she's been using these protocols, the same ones that Emily and I use, to help thousands of other of her patients. So you have her. You got one of the top celebrity health professionals out there by the name of Thomas Delar, who does a great job. He's very aggressive in teaching people, and he always backs he always backs up what he says with science, just like Dr. Boz does, and just like Dr. Jason Fung does. And then you got another guy, another health professional out there who's very aggressive, is Fledge Fitness. He's very aggressive. Dr. Matola, you guys know who he is. He talks about, there's Dr. Berg. There's just doctors keep on going. And so I wanted to get on here to let you guys know that are skeptical, or that maybe had another professional or a doctor tell you that primal eating or a ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting just doesn't work, and they're wrong. The proof is there. The proof's here. The science is here. You got these doctors that are changing their whole health platforms because they're getting the results without the medication. And that's the key. They're using the body to reverse many disease models. It's like I've talked to you guys about this 100 times. All water is not the same. Emily and I drink hydrogen-rich water, which is the best water in the world. And the Japanese have been using this water for over 40 years. And here in the United States, we haven't, but we are now, because it's here now. And I keep telling people, you know what? You don't believe me? Look at the research. I have tons and tons of research that shows that your water you're drinking is so contaminated, it's causing inflammation, which is causing you to be sick, which is lowering your immune system. All you got to do is just change the type of water you're drinking, get off the contaminated water, put yourself on water that's so powerful as an antioxidant. It actually helps the gut. It actually helps to boost the immune system up. But still, people just don't believe it, even though I show them the science. So that's another example. But Dr. Boz, like I said, she wrote a book about how she saved her mother's life by doing a ketogenic diet or primal eating, and then combining it with a very aggressive fasting, and because her mother had cancer, and she was fourth stage cancer. She was basically sent home to die. And actually what happened was that she said, no, we're not going to stop here. So she did. This is how Dr. Boz got involved. is because of what she did to her mother. Now she's been doing 3 years of investigation and teaching other people how to do it. That, she's actually she's actually changing the minds of many doctors. And it was kind of funny because I was listening to one of her seminars, and she got a message from a doctor, Douglas Quinn, I think his name is. And this doctor sent her a message. And so I thought I would go ahead and read what the message is. And this is an example of not just this doctor, but me too. Because for me to really understand the benefits of primal eating or a ketogenic diet, combining it with intermittent fasting and doing some periodically prolonged fastings, we had to do it ourselves. And I was obese. I was 360 something pounds. So what a perfect time to try this. And obviously you guys who follow me know that Emily and I are now down to a very healthy body fat, which I have not had these kind of abs in my whole life, I don't think, even when I was a kid. And been able to maintain it for so long, and it's so simple because now we are fat adapted. I'm not going to get into what that means, but what we're talking about here, why it's so successful, for those of you that might be brand new to my videos or what I'm doing, is that what we're doing with this lifestyle is we're changing our bodies from using the carbohydrates or the sugars that you're eating continually 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 times a day as energy. We're taking what I like to call I'm carbohydrate starving you, taking those carbohydrates away and teaching your body how to go over to burning your own stored body fat. And that's why you're overweight, because you keep storing it, especially if you're 50 and over. It's brutal, and that's another thing that Emily and I have been learning in the last few years is imbalanced hormones on women especially. Men are involved too, but women even more so that are 50 and over, that even though they're doing everything right, if their hormones aren't balanced, nothing's going to happen. It's brutal. And so spend the time, spend the money, get a hormone panel done, find out where your adrenals are, find out where your cortisol levels are, because those are going to throw your weight loss off. So until you get those balanced, then it's just going to be a struggle. You're going to lose weight, but it won't be as quickly as you want to. But anyway, Dr. Boz got this email from this other doctor, and this is just, like I said, a great example of what doctors are now doing because now the research is out there. And so I'm going to read you what he said. So he goes, I'm a board-certified family physician. And I blame, this is exactly what he said. This is what's on the site. I blame Dr. Boz for turning me into a medical keto fanatic. That's what he says. I mean, if that's what you want to call us, and that's what we are then. But he says, I had heard of the ketogenic diet, and this relates to me and other professionals and other doctors who are not doing this, who may be skeptical of it, but this is what they thought too, is I have heard of a ketogenic diet, and like many other diets, thought it to be a fad or a cult, and as ridiculous as all the other ones out there. And that's basically pretty much what these doctors may think, is that, they've heard about it, they're hearing all these examples of people's health changing, reversing cancer, reversing type 2 diabetes, and yet there's doctors doing it. Here's another doctor, Dr. Thomas Seinfeld out of Boston College. Remarkable. He's reversing brain cancer by doing this lifestyle, because he discovered in his research and on his own patients that when you take somebody off of a high-carb diet and deplete their body or their liver of glucose or carbohydrates completely for a length of time, what happens is the body then jumps over to the fat that it's stored, because it needs something to keep going, so it needs energy, so it jumps to the fat, And it's taking the fat from the body fat, your own stored body fat, and using it to live on. And guess what? Dr. Thomas Pye figured out that, well, why are the cancer cells dying? Well, he figured it out. He says, well, because cancers can't live on fat. I mean, that's how he discovered it. So that's just another doctor. But anyway, so this doctor thought it was a fad, thought it was a cult, thought it just was some stupid new thing out there. Then, like myself, I did the same thing. It took my wife to give me the information, and I do listen to her, and I look at the research, and this doctor decided, just like I did, he decided to try the diet himself. And this kind of made me laugh. But anyway, this is what he put. I decided to try the diet myself. Now, there are certain protocols, just like you just can't jump into this lifestyle without knowing how to do it, and without being guided to how to do it, because your body does not know how to burn fat yet. You just can't jump into turning off the carbohydrates you've been eating for decades and then jumping right over to fat, because you'll pass out. Your body doesn't know what to do, because if you do this is what will happen. If you cold turkey shut off all your carbs, your blood sugar will drop, and some of you have gone through that. Your blood sugar drops, you pass out. You've got to gradually teach your body to switch over to burning fat. So there's a protocol, and like he said, you need to be guided on what to do first for 6 to 8 weeks. It may take 6 to 8 weeks to 12 weeks for your body to adapt to the fat. Then you can introduce to the next levels, the next protocols, and get more aggressive. So this doctor decided to go ahead and try it himself. Well, this is what happened to him. Now, this happens to a lot of people. Men, it's easier for men that are over 40 or 50 to see the benefits than it is for women that are over 50, because women have to deal with women hormones which are brutal, which I really feel sorry for them, because it's brutal, and so you got to go. The women have to do extra things in order to get their hormones to where they can lose that belly fat or body fat or hip fat, whatever they got. So in 7 weeks, this doctor, now this is where it gets interesting to me, and this is kind of where I have to laugh, because he's a medical doctor who's supposed to be helping people get healthy. But I want you to listen to what he says here. He says, in 7 weeks, I lost 32 pounds, stopped his statin. That kind of makes me laugh, because the guys that follow me know why I laugh about that. On half of my antidepressants that he's been on for 28 years. So he's been on an antidepressant for 28 years. And so now just in a few weeks, he's only on half the amount, which is sad, because we all know that antidepressants over long periods of time have some pretty major side effects to it. He sleeps better now. And that's another thing that we need to know, because as a health professional and as with our clients, one of my questions is how do you sleep? Because if you're not sleeping well, then it's going to cause your cortisol to be sky high, and cortisol is going to sabotage your ketones. See, that's the thing. When you're switching over from burning carbohydrates to burning fat, your liver is producing a magical molecule called ketones. And that's where all these benefits are coming from. When that liver is producing ketones, that's when the magic happens. It will not produce these ketones if you're on a high carb diet, or if you're eating too many carbs or too many refined sugars. It won't happen. Okay, and that's you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry. I've got videos about that. His mental clarity was much better. His arthritis, now I can contest to this one. My arthritis in my shoulders depleted tremendously. I couldn't even go to the gym. Now, of course, I was hydrating myself with hydrogen-rich water, which is known to flush out inflammation by science. And so that also helped. So when I combined my hydrogen-rich water, along with this lifestyle, magical things happen to my body. And so, especially when it comes to trying to, anti-aging. That's one of the huge factors that science is talking about, is that how it affects age, how it affects the seniors out there and the benefits they get from it. But his arthritis pains remarkably, that's what he says, diminished. He is now able to swim 50 laps. This man, this doctor, is 66 years old, and now he's doing these things. Just think, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, if he keeps this up and stays consistent, what's going to happen to him? Same thing as Emily and I are trying to teach the public out there. It doesn't matter what age limit you are. The benefits are just humongous when you get yourself into fat adaptation. And now you guys that follow me know what I mean by that. You just don't get into fat adaptation overnight. Emily and I, it took us over a year of consistency. We've been very consistent. Now, during this quarantine, I'm noticing I'm seeing a lot of people that have been doing this lifestyle who are now posting saying they've gained their weight back. They've gained 25 pounds. They've gained 30 pounds. Guys, when you're 50 years old and over and you've lost a lot of weight and then you gain it back again, do you realize how hard it is going to be to get that off? Even though you did it just a year ago or so, it's going to be twice as hard to get off. You don't want to ever get it back, especially when you're 50 and over. And the hormones get screwed up even more so. And you're actually going to gain more weight. So why go through all that? I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to do that. So, guys, I just wanted to get on today just to give you an idea that all this that Emily and I are teaching our clients, all this is true, all this is science-backed, and so many professionals are now changing their whole health platforms because they're seeing their own clients or patients, they're seeing them make the changes, and it's all about overall health. It's all about boosting the immune system up, especially for what's going on today. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm working on a video right now, because you guys know that I get a little freaky about scientific case studies. I like to follow all my videos with science, and I just got another. It's not new, but it's new to me. And it hasn't been it's been published for 3 years, but nobody's talking about it. And to me, so far, this one particular scientific case study that I'm going to be talking about on its separate video has got to be one of the strongest scientific case studies I have read yet in these last few years, or I have found, that actually shows the power of intermittent fasting. Now, a lot of you may notice that I talk a lot about intermittent fasting. I do talk about primal eating and a ketogenic diet, which is another aspect to our platform that we combine it with. But it's the intermittent fasting part of it. That's probably way up there, because when you're taking it, when you're giving your body some time off from food, some magical things happen to it. And so when you completely depleted your liver of all the glucose or all the carbohydrates or glucose, see, carbohydrates, when you eat them, convert to glucose, which is known as sugar. Then it goes to the liver and it's being transported all over the body. But when you've completely depleted your liver from all those glucose and sugar, now you've balanced, now you've got your insulin, which is your fat hormone to store fat. That's what's causing people being fat, is their insulins are too high. But now you got your insulin down at a base level, at a healthy level for 24/7, okay? And so now your body you haven't had any calories for a certain amount of time. I don't know, it could be 16 hours, it could be 18 hours. Now, those of you that follow me know I promote 18 and 20-hour fastings. I alternate it with 23-hour fastings because I want to go deeper into fasting, because that's where the magic is. And plus, the longer you fast, you don't have any calories at all. Water, sea salt, and black coffee or green tea with no sweetener for a period of time, you're going to deplete your liver of glucose and your body's going to go after the fat. That's just how it works. I mean, that's the science behind all this. And that's where the magic is. So I promote the 18 and 20 hour fastings or the alternating days where you fast one day and you don't fast the next day. Emily and I do 20-hour fasts on Mondays, and Tuesdays we do a 23-1, and Wednesday 20-hour fast, and we eat one meal Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We have 2 meals on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll snack on protein. I have to make sure my protein is high enough to maintain my to maintain lean muscle mass and keep it adding. So because we exercise 4 to 5 days, but that's for another video. But anyway, this research I found is so powerful that it overlaps or it umbrellas over most of the other researches out there about how intermittent fasting affects males who are doing resistance training and elevating growth hormones and testosterone to add lean muscle. Not just males, women also, females also. It works the same exact way. But when you're combining intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting with resistance training, the benefits are humongous. And this is actually an unbelievable study for years that they did. It's not a short study. This was not a short study. This was a long study. And this is with males. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about it and give you some info on what the results were on it and how it overlaps or umbrellas any other research out there. It proves, you can't deny it. I mean, I don't care who you are. I don't care what PhD you have. I don't care how long you've been in the sports medicine, whatever it is. You can't deny the research that this particular research talks about because they've got way too many subjects that they use, different body parts. And what they did is they took one group, put them on the intermittent fasting and resistance training. They took another group, put them on the standard American diet or the higher carb diets, and did the same thing, and they did it as a double blind, and this is in the results over a long period of time, and that's what makes it unique. Okay, guys? So, guys, I hope you saw some value in this. Hope you guys have a great Friday today. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you at the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye.